Okay, I'm going to see if I can explain these scripts and what I wrote. If you look here on the screen, I'm going to zoom in and show you. Okay, on this side, it's what we start with. The arrow shows the script that I wrote. So basically, it's four scripts. It's more than four, but we're going to focus on these four because this is what we call them. And on the end, on the other side, it shows what the output is. So you start with this, for instance. We start with a game with the XML file with the games. We run the script called convert raw XML.py, and at the end you end up with updated XML. And this is the one that chops all the names up and makes, takes all the spaces, commas, the things out of the name. And then also you end up with a move script that will help us move the files. Because once we change the names, say we change the names of the zip files or anything else, the next step is to move them. And so what this does, it creates a script to move. So I'm going to run this. I'm going to run all four of these and show you how they all work. But then we're going to run this first one. And it's called convert raw XML, and you start with a game file. So I run it here. I got it already set up. So Python is what we're using. So it's Python and then the name of the script. It was convert raw. That's just the XML that we have. Convert raw XML dot py, and then we want to space and then the system that we want to do it for. So Sega 32. Now let me show you something that I did beforehand too. Let me show you in the file system. I pulled these down, and I changed the name. So you got Sega 32. It's gamelist underscore whatever it is. So I got Sega 32, NES, Neo Geo, main, FBA. I pulled all those, actually pulled all those down. So um, this is going to do the Sega 32 one, right? Python convert raw XML, Sega 32. Hit enter, and then it's kind of reading. If you look and see what we did here, this is just printing out to show me. Okay, so this is the XML file that it's using. I gotta switch this up, but showing the game list, Afterburner, complete, Japan, showing what it was, the zip file, and it changed that to Afterburner complete. Amazing Spider-Man, it just changed that to, you could look and see what it changed it to, and then we'll go take a look at it. So we'll take a look at the two different files, the one we started with and the one that we ended with. So now you see this new one here, this Sega 32 updated. So let's look at what the Sega 32 is. If you look here, look at the path. It's Afterburner complete. It has everything in the name, the EN, the Japan, USA, all of that. And then the same thing for the image, the marquee, and the video, right? The name, the same thing, all those other things. Same thing with Amazing Spider-Man. It has the USA and the spaces. Same thing with Motocross Championship has a space in USA. Star Wars has USA. So now we're going to look at the updated one, right? I like it better here. So I'm going to open the updated one. So it's game list 32 updated. We'll open that. Okay, now look here. See the difference? It fixed it. Well, we updated it, basically. So it changed it to Afterburner complete. It removed everything. And then it made these all Afterburner complete. Afterburner complete, right? It removed all of the extra things. Um, same thing with Spider-Man. Now we just got to change the .zip names on those. And that's what, let's see. And I said it, now going back to this picture here, we started with this, we ran it, we looked at the updated XML, and now the bash script that we would have to run to do, and let's see, it should be in the scripts directory is where it wrote move. Okay, so we just ran the Sega 32. It created a script called move Sega 32 files. And this is basically, if we take this over to the Linux side and just run it, it's going to do everything. It's going to move, it's basically going to move all the old file names. It's saying move, but really it's just a rename. It's going to rename, see, look, it's going to rename this Afterburner Complete Japan USA EN. It's going to rename it just to Afterburner Complete, right? So it does that for everything. So the script does that. So we'll look at the next one. And the next one is, oh, this is a simple one. List games from XML, right? It just basically creates a list of all the games and puts them in a text file. So going back to and this is the command window. And we're just running it. I'm running it from this directory. I ran it before, so it should still be in here. List games from XML, and then the Sega 32. It said games have been written to, game text, game list, Sega 32.txt. And what we'll do is we'll go on. I got a game list. And yep, Sega 32. There's 6 games, and it just lists the games out. So we can do that for any system, right? If you just want to say, give me a quick list, we can run that. The next one is, the next script is, okay, create button XML. This one here is you take the updated XML file. That's the one that we used that when we ran the convert raw. So you take this updated XML file and you run the script called create button XML file. What you get is you'll get an XML file with the button configurations that are not filled in. They won't fill in. So one of the things that we have to do here is we have to go back and just real quick take that updated one. And let's make this, let's take the original one and rename it to just the backup. And then we're going to just make this name. I'll take the updated off because the way the script is set up, it's once you type in Sega 32, it'll just look for that. So what are we running? We're running one called create button XML. So we'll do that. Same thing. Python create button XML .py, and same thing, Sega 32. And we want to run that. And this kind of just have stuff print out, but I'll show you what it does. It says processing for system Sega 32. That's the system. This is the XML file that it read. And then it just saying the button config, or that one did exist. So we adding new data to and XML button config. We're adding those things. Okay, so now let's look. Here it is. This is what was just created, the button config. Watch this. You'll like this one. I'm going to look at it from here. I'll open it up in here. We'll open it up. Hold on. Amen. XML, the button config. This is the one that was just written. Okay, so guess what? This is what it did. Basically, for each system, Sega 32. It's just showing the system name, Sega 32. There's 6 games in it. So for the game Afterburner Complete, oh, I have to do this because it didn't. Oh, you know what? Hold on just a second. This actually, okay, hold on. I need to rerun this because this actually ran on one that was already existing, because it shouldn't have that name as the zip. This was, I had ran this before, so it was already existing. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see. I gotta move the. Oh, don't worry. Oh, I'll just do close. Yeah, close that one. No, this is the one. Nope, I don't want to save it. Hold on. I want to delete this. Hold on. Let's delete that. That way, we'll get a fresh one. So I want to show you the fresh one. Okay, same thing. We're running it. It's creating a button configuration. And it just showed, okay, game list. It's creating a new. And it's just showing all the things. Adding the button configuration. So what we'll do is I'll open it again. And take a look at what this is, what this has here. So I'm just gonna put this down here. Basically saying for the system name Sega 32, there's 6 in it. The file name is afterburnercomplete.zip. That was the updated name, and the name of the game is Afterburner Complete. Same thing for Spider-Man, Motocross, Star Wars. These are all the games. Now, what it actually did is you have the buttons here: A, B, X, Y, L, and R. And so this is what I was saying the other day, is that what we would have to go in and do these by hand. So say for instance, I don't know all of them. I don't know any of these actually. But let's say for instance we do for A we do fire, and then for instance B is missiles, and we'll just write that in there, right, for afterburner or thrust. Do that. A is fire, B is thrust. Hold on. Hold on just a second. I got to do something. Okay, I got to switch keyboards. I keep accidentally. And then say, for instance, this is thrust, right? For afterburner. So what we would do is we would go in and kind of fill this in for every game. Some of them may be the same. You may be able to cut and paste. But for every game, what is your A? What is your B, X, Y? And the ones that are blank, you just leave them as off, right? You make that and then you just save it. And then let's go look at the last piece, right? Because we did this. We created the button configuration. It's basically, look, XML file with the buttons, but that are not filled in. We go in and fill those in for each game. We just type it up. Now watch this. This is probably the best part. If you look in here, the instruction folder is empty, right? Now, if we go back to the last one, is make the custom marquees. Right. That's what we really wanted to do, is make the marquees. And so if we take the XML file with the button configuration that are filled in, we run this make custom marquee script. It should, and what this script is doing, it'll create the button images and also the custom marquee files. So we'll run that. Let's see, hold up, what's the name of it again? Make custom marquees. See, make custom. And I don't think you have to put the system name on this. You just let it run. Yep. And it goes. It found 6 games in Sega 32, and it's making them. And we could do this for the other one. Watch what it does. Watch what it did now. Let's see. Let's view. We want to view this. It basically goes through and makes the files for us. And look at the two. Remember the two that we filled in for that? The fire for afterburner, the fire and thrust. So, and these are the ones that we left off. This will be off. And we can update this image, right? If these are two, I think I wanted to make these larger and move it up, or we can probably maybe put here. But the bottom line is we don't have to do this. We don't have to write these images or make them anymore. The only thing we have to do is go into this button configuration file, make our updates, for instance. So let's look at Amazing Spider-Man, right? Amazing Spider-Man, there's no buttons right now. Nothing is defined. But if we go in here and do for Amazing Spider-Man, and let's just say if L was the web. Not web, web. We'll say L was the web. We file, we save it, and then we rerun it. Now let's look. Now boom, this is created. L was the web, right? I do have to put the A, B, X, Y in the middle of these, but we can do that because you only got to do it once. But that's a good thing. But we can always update how this is created, the colors, anything else. But the bottom line is we can have this done, right? We can have the buttons done for every single game just by running that script. It'll go through and it'll run all of them. Now, also what we're doing, what we do too, is you go and remember this custom folder, and it created the custom text for all of them. So for instance, Motocross Championship. Uh, this should be .text. This should not be .zip, but we'll deal with that. But look what it does, right? It creates the button config, and then also the marquee. And so everything is done now just by running boom, 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 those 4 scripts. I need to update this so that this is not .zip, but that's something in the code I can do. And that's what we have. I'm going to stop this now. Did it stop on me? Oh no, it didn't. Okay, I'm gonna stop this now, and then we can just talk. Oh, so this was just a test. It's more than just a test because I actually ran some of them on the actual Pi. But the bottom line is, I would have to take all of these, everything that's in this script folder, all of these scripts, and just the four that we used, which are basically these 4 scripts, these 4, and there's 2 helper scripts that these call. But so it's a total of 6. I would take these 6 and transfer them over to the Raspberry Pi and run it, so that once you have these 6 scripts, you can go ahead and run that, and it'll create everything that we need to create for the. I know we were looking at, even the Mike Tyson stuff and everything else. And let me see. I think I can even maybe try to run it on this. on the NES. If I have the NES, let's see if I have the NES there. Gaming XML. Do I have NES? Okay, let's see. So look, yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Bump and Jump, Burger Time. So what I would do, convert raw NES and just do NES. And you can see where, and you can see, and you can see how it converted everything, right? It took Bram Stoker's Dracula and turned it into Bram Stoker's Dracula. Bump and Jump down here, Bump and Jump. Burger Time USA, just the Burger Time. And then we can open this just to take a look at it here. Okay, NES updated. And look what you got. It updated everything in the NES. So we can definitely do that. And we can run it and make it work. All right, it's 20. Oh, I didn't realize this was a 20-minute video. Okay, I'm gonna get off and then I'll talk to you. But this is, if you watch this, and then we can explain. But this is it right here. All right, I'm out.